And considering all those e-commerce dollars, it probably makes sense that Facebook would want to get in on the action. Chris Valerio joins us from San Francisco with that side of the story. Chris?
Hey, Margaret, that's right. You just mentioned it. E-commerce exploding. Case in point, that 12% gain in holiday sales that we've seen so far this year. Well, Facebook has already seen enormous success with selling virtual goods online. Case in point, for instance, Max Levchin's slide company. Of course, now it says, though, it wants to get into e-commerce. Now, this is trying to sell real products. Now, it all goes back to social, the idea being to use your friends to decide and get advice on how to buy products. Here's how Kevin Hartz of Eventbrite explains it.
We see a shift happening, a really seismic, exciting shift, and that's the shift to social. It makes a lot of sense. You want to find things that your friends recommend, whether it's a product, a service. In our case, it's events and ticketing.
Now, Hartz has seen really big payoffs from social networks. In fact, Eventbrite makes $2.52 every time you share one of their events on Facebook, and that's meant doubling in ticket sales for them, $200 million in revs this year.
But what about some of the more traditional retailers, some of the brick and mortars?
Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that are going to bring in the big bucks, right? So Penney and Delta are some of the companies that are already starting to try to sell things on Facebook. But the really important thing here is the number of retailers coming to the table. So a company called Pavement, this is a startup here, and it essentially turns your Facebook page into a storefront. Here are the numbers that they're reporting. They are starting 250 new Facebook stores, retailers every day. That's up 42% from August. Now, Facebook shopping still pretty small when you compare it to some other big ones. For instance, it's making $1.16 per second versus eBay's $2,000 per second. So still pretty small there. But that said, some analysts say in the next 3 to 5 years, they see Facebook making up about 15% of total online consumer spending. Margaret, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris.